are cracks in this wall. This looks like it belongs here.
Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtur?
Noble Ashtur guides my hand. The goddess must be busy.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence. This area is particular. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained. And why don't you come see me in the light? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
Blessings of the goddess. She does not see it happening. Must not be her purview. She believes in our purpose. My old fort. Caretaker was furious when she found I had built this. I never got the chance to truly know my mother. Only the monster she became. The gods are fickle. The Standing Stones. There is powerful magic at work here. The goddess disagrees. I need to find the next moon seal. The great seer known as Endra Moore is buried here. Much like Nico, her powers came dangerously close to crossing the line, but she was among the most loyal of the Midnight Suns. This is which sign? Must not be her purview. I was always drawn to this place as a child, but somehow I had almost forgotten about it. Ah, I see. This rubble looks loose. The goddess must be busy. Caretaker hardly spoke of him, but I like to imagine my father was a great hero whose spirit protected these woods. Oster smiles upon me. Perhaps a witch from the Salem Coven made this. The Goddess of Order approves. Noble Oster guides my hand. The goddess disagrees. It is one of the elemental rods. Fascinating. Curious. Interesting. What is this? Just what I was looking for. I will see if I can find you a treat later.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate?
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a we in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss. How's it going, boss? No peeking now. Got some upgrades for you, hot off the press. Or forge.
Good day, Hunter. We desperately... If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever's in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can approach the anvil, Hunter. We do not have time to spare. What have you brought me today? I'm not expecting any difficulties with this one. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The Cube of Nothingness. The Tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within. It's probably not the object of power you were hoping for.
Hey, Hunter. Got a sec to spare?
You moving into the forge, Hunter? You've been here more in the past few days than I have since ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with a spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good. How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another, just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with caretaker Sumerian Sofa.
I am the Scourge of the Lilin. My name is whispered in fear across the 7 hells. When I fight, I make war, not make-believe, Robbie. Be sure your Sparky is ready to do the same.
Damn, Hunter! You talk the same kind of smack that he does. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blade to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky...
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
Hunter, ready to get your burn on? I'm talking training. Time's wasting, Hunter. I think we've got something for everyone.
Like playing with fire, huh?
Hunter, report to the war room. We've got a mission.
See you around.
You're looking strong.
You called for me, Captain?
Keep telling ya, Carol works too, but yeah, I did. Now that Tony's finally starting to get a handle on his gremlin problem, I've been able to put Central to good use. Got a lead on some particularly gnarly Hydra operations.
Then let's get going.
My thoughts exactly. There's just...
Lost?
Well, I updated her on the mission. She said something I can only assume to be a prolific swear...
There is no passage to New...
Now you see my problem.
Every second we delay is a victory for Lilith. I have little patience for...
No argument there. Look, I don't know if you've noticed it, but she seems to like you. I've known Magic just about as long as you have, and all I've gotten from her is a few Maybe you'll do better.
Fine. I will retrieve her.
Well, when you phrase it like that, I'm sure she'll just be... Good luck, huh?
I shall return.
Fingers crossed. Not much more I can tell you, Hunter. Though I did hear her mutter something about Wanda.
Thanks, Captain. Nico, do you know where Magic is? We need her.
Let me guess. To open another portal? She's getting a little tired of being the only person here who can do that.
This is serious, Nico.
Not sure, but I know she's been
Thanks for your help.
Hunter?
This room belonged to the Scarlet Witch, did it not?
Wanda. It belongs to Wanda. Let me guess. You are to ask me to do the one thing the others value me for. Opening their precious portal. Well, I am in the middle of something.
It is never easy to lose a comrade. I know this too well.
We did not lose Wanda. We let her go. Before any of this started. Wanda's first grimoire. Agatha gave it to her when she was teaching her witchcraft. She would never let me read it. So now I read it.
That is no child's book. Lose focus for 1 second and be lost completely within its pages. Let me guide you through it.
You do not own the darkness, Hunter. I was also raised within it. So much so I barely remember a time without it. And now Wanda has this in common with us too. I know what she's going through. To come face to face with true evil itself. Your heart so filled with soot that it chokes out all the bright parts. I cannot let such a fate happen to her.
Then put the damn book down and help me get her back.
You are nothing if not direct. Not to mention unrelenting. And perhaps you are not... Okay. It is times such as this that I wish someone else... Perhaps Doctor Strange should spend less time tinkering with Tony Stark in the Forge and focus more... no matter. Goodbye.
I take it you found our gatekeeper. Then When Hydra isn't preoccupied with world-ending scenarios, they spend a lot of their free time terrorizing the citizens of New York. It's fairly routine stuff for heroes these days. Why don't you check the mirror table?